What is going on, beautiful people, man? We are back. Finesse here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Bad Decisions, episode 23. I don't even know, man. It's been so long. It feels good to be back, man. I feel good. I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday so far. It's been like 2 months, man. It's been like 2 months since we've done this and put, real content out there. So, man, it's been a while. I'm happy to be back, and we had to do something for UFC 329, man. The Mac is back. Conor McGregor back after 5 long years away from the game. Main event spot against another legend of the sport, Max Holloway. So, amazing main event, amazing card, top to bottom. It's gonna be absolute fucking cinema. I'm glad you guys are here. We're gonna make a shit ton of money. Enjoy yourselves, cash some tickets, and live life, man, and be happy. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm excited for it. You know, Connor's like, I know a lot of shit has went down and all of that stuff, and say what you want outside of the octagon, but inside the octagon, just my personal opinion, my personal feeling. Back 2014, 2015, like this is the dude who really, like, I would keep up with the UFC and shit like that, but he's the guy that really got me like entrenched in this shit, like passionate about the UFC. So, like I said, man, after 5 years, him coming back at 170 against Max is just such a fascinating spot, fascinating main event, fascinating card overall. So, yeah, man, like I said, I hope you guys are feeling good. We are live on YouTube, we're live on Twitter, and yeah, man, we got no time to waste. Like I said, it's been 2 months. We gonna get right down to motherfucking business. We got a lot of great fights to talk about. And yeah, man, like I always say, you guys are in the right place. You guys are in the right place. Quality is what I'm looking to bring you guys. Quality in terms of, the picks and the money we make and the bets. Quality in terms of the content. All of that stuff. So, yeah, man. I don't think there's anything else, man. I'm gonna try to make this more common. Try to go live next week as well. But people that follow me know. I have my son, and he's almost a year now. So time fucking flies, and just living life and spending as much time as I can with him. I'm so fucking lucky to be able to, be there when he go to sleep, be there when he wake up every single day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just enjoying that so much, enjoying life so much. But it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time to continue to feed the streets and get back to doing this consistently, which is what I wanted to do to start the year. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So UFC 329, like I said, not a lot of time to waste. We're going to get right down to business. A lot of fights to talk about. So we're going to talk best bets, breakdowns, all of that stuff. I might touch on every single fight. We're not going to go in depth and break down every single fight. Just the fights that I have action on, the fights that I'm interested in. So buckle the fuck up and let's get it going, man. Let's get it going. So let me pull my stuff up. All right. So we'll touch on this first fight of the night. First fight of the night put together on somewhat short notice, about a week or so, around there. Alessandro Costa versus Cody Durden. Current odds. Let's check current odds. I mean, they might be slightly different than what's on the screen, but I want to give you guys the most updated info. So, yeah, I mean, similar. Costa right now, yeah, minus 230, minus 240. Come back on Cody anywhere from plus 200 to plus 210. So, I don't know. I think this is a good fight, man. Cody, had a fight, was supposed to fight Ode, pulled out. Costa steps in. So, the fight, the Cody Ode fight was put together on somewhat short notice as well. So, short notice for both guys. I don't think either guy's really going to be too effective. Cody's kind of made a career, and especially lately of doing this, stepping in, stepping up, whoever, wherever. And same with Costa. Costa's a guy who made his UFC debut on short notice, looked okay. He got finished in that fight, but looked okay. I believe that was against Albazi. Got finished late in that fight, but cardio I don't think was a major concern in a spot like this. Now coming in on a week's notice, and he fought not too long ago. I don't know what's the exact date. Fought June 6th. So what is that, like a month ago? So I think that's a plus. I don't think that's necessarily a negative on short notice. So I don't have too much interest in money line side and this and that. I respect Cody, especially coming off a arguably career best performance, man. Arguably a performance that saved his job. You know what I'm saying? It gave him another opportunity to do this on a massive kind of card as the first fight, which is a very important spot. So at these type of prices, Costa minus 250. Like, I'm not running to fade Cody. I do think Costa's aside. I think Costa is gonna begin to roll downhill late. We've seen it multiple times with Cody, man. Cody's an absolute dog. Good, well-rounded style, but tends to kind of fall apart. Tends to kind of pull defeat from the jaws of victory. You know what I'm saying? He's notoriously good in first rounds. Puts a high pace. He's trying to put a high pace the whole time, but really good in round one. A lot of these round ones, especially lately, very clean. He's kind of pulling away from these guys in round one, winning round one, and then just finds a way to fall apart, whether it's getting caught on the feet, whether it's getting caught in submissions and things like that. And that's how I view this fight. So I wanted to touch on this fight because there are a couple prices that I'm looking at, and they're involving Costa late. Costa round 2, Costa round 3. That's kind of where my mind is at for these, or for this fight. Costa round 2 is plus 500. Costa round 3, you can get plus 800. So I don't really want to fuck with KO or sub. I think both options are likely. I might sprinkle. Actually, let me pull up the books too, because we're gonna be doing a lot of this. I want to get you guys the best prices, the most current prices that I possibly can. So UFC. So again, here we're gonna make picks and things like that, but we specialize here on bets. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you guys actionable information, stuff that I'm putting my own money on, and not just throw random shit out there so I can say I hit something. So we will be playing round 2, round 3, like I said, plus 500, plus 800 for Costa, and then kind of peeking around. You know what I'm saying? Costa round 2 submission plus 1400. Costa round 3 submission plus 2000. I think I might, very small sprinkle on those as well. Already having played the 2-3 props. I just think that's where the value is. I think KO is very, very likely. Like I said, I think both methods of victory are likely for Costa in terms of finish. But yeah, I can see a variety of different ways. These big prices, cash, club and sub. Obviously, Cody is a wrestler first. He has improved a lot on the feet, and like I said, he's pulling away from guys on the feet. Guys that probably are guys that he's probably given up skill against in terms of the boxing. He's still able to do his thing and win first rounds, pure striking rounds. So I give him his respect. But wrestler first guy, guy I think bit chinny as well. So I could see a position where Costa's landing bombs on the feet, Cody panic shoots, or Cody gets hurt on the feet, and kind of takes a sloppy shot. And Costa's nasty, man. Costa's nasty off his back, nasty in transitional positions and things like that. So a variety of different ways I think those big numbers could cash. But that's where my mind is at. I'm not interested in laying this type of price on Costa, in terms of the money line. I'm not interested in parlaying him or anything like that. Like I said, I don't think the short notice is going to matter too much, especially against Cody, a guy that's known to kind of slow down a bit and not have the most bulletproof gas tank, which is even more of a reason why I favor the 2-3 rounds for Costa. Just so many ways to get it done, in my opinion. Durden can make catastrophic mistakes. Costa very powerful on the feet, so he can catch Cody and shaky chin, shaky durability and things like that. So yeah, man, I'm targeting big numbers, big plus money numbers and things like that. So round 2, round 3, 500, 800, and then Costa 2 sub 14-1, Costa 3 sub 20-1. So the next fight on the card is one that I also have interest in. Ryan Gandra, whatever the fuck, versus Zachary Reese. So, obviously on paper, not one that I thought I was going to be jumping to have action in. Also, by the way, current odds on the screen are what's on the market right now. Gandra minus 140. Comeback on Zach is plus 115. So, like I said, man, not a fight that I thought I was going to be overly interested in, man. But I am. I like the dog in this spot. I like Zach in this spot. These are the only price ranges I'm looking to back a guy like Zachary Reese. Zach, I don't think is a elite fighter. I don't think he's, I don't want to be disrespectful at all, but I don't think he's a, top 15, top 20 guy in his division. But styles make fights, and I think he has enough advantages in this fight at this price to warrant a bet, and that's exactly what I did. So I'm on Zach Reese in this spot. Couple things. Obviously, the most obvious things. Gondra is completely unproven, especially as a fight progresses. This is one of the first tapes I watched, so I don't want to misquote, but that's what I thought. So, had a fight a couple years ago, went all 3 rounds, looked pretty terrible in that fight, in my opinion. Just completely unproven at this level, completely unproven past 5 minutes at this level, completely unproven versus any type of, decent UFC level competition. Say what you want about Zach, but Zach has wins in the UFC. Zach has gone 15 minutes. Who do we think is the better fighter right now, Michel Pereira or Ryan Gondra? You know what I'm saying? So Michel's, again, people love to talk shit about Michel Pereira, but say what you want, something happened in his career where he's not the same guy, but still UFC level, Pereira, I believe, coming off a win. Is it a win? Or did he get fucking robbed? I can't remember. Let me look it up, because, again, I don't want to be fucking wrong as shit. No, he's coming off the loss to Shara. I bet. The reason I'm thinking about that is because I bet Michel Pereira. I thought he won that fight. Anyways, whatever the case is. Say what you want about Michel, but again, who's better at this point in time? Especially at a UFC level, competition. Ryan Gondra or Michel Pereira. You know what I'm saying? So Zachary, more proven guy at this level, way more proven cardio. He's not a guy that's gonna, we talk about bulletproof gas tanks. He's not a fucking Marab or anything like that. He does slow down in fights too, but has shown the ability to go a hard 15 minutes, which is very valuable, again, especially at prices like this against somebody completely unproven. Another glaring thing, off tape and the research that I've done is completely suspect ground game. Completely suspect ground game from Ryan Gondra. I've seen him give up takedowns to guys that I don't rate at all as fighters, even on the regional scene. So he's giving up takedowns, immediately giving up his back. Guys are taking his back. And again, these guys that are doing this, not good at all. So, man. And now you got Zach Reese, who, again, is a little bit of a dummy when he's grappling and transitional and stuff like that, but has BJJ in his back pocket, is a better grappler, is a better wrestler in his matchup. So, these advantages we talking about are piling up fast as fuck. Cardio, UFC experience, level of competition, grappling, wrestling, and again, he's at plus money. So am I going to be shocked if Ryan comes out here and absolutely fucking kills Zach in round 1? No, that's what Ryan Gondra does. He's a big, plotty Brazilian, just wants to absolutely bully you, throw hammers, throw lunchboxes at your face, and absolutely bully you. That's what he does. So, can he hit his win condition? Absolutely. Zach has shown his chin is not great, but I think Zach has also proven that he's pretty fucking tough, and pretty tough to get out of there. The Brundage fight, I don't want to say a fucking meme, but kind of, very volatile, like, not volatile, but very, like, I can't pull the word, but yeah, just very meme-ish finish, goes for an armbar. I think he's like a sizable favorite in that fight, goes for an armbar and gets fucking slammed by Cody Brundage, slam finish, which we've seen, I think, less than 10 times in the UFC. So, man, I rate his toughness. I rate his tenacity. You know what I'm saying? So, if Gondra lands big in his first round, I don't think it's just automatic bye-bye, I think Zach can do things, kind of hang on him, shoot takedowns, use the wrestling, and again, Gondra completely unproven there. So, yeah, man. First dog shot of the card, man. Not the last, but first dog shot of the card. Zach Reese money line plus 115. Let's look at these Let's look at these round props, man. I I think he could finish Ganja in round one too. But obviously, I favor because I don't think Reese is a guy that's gonna put a pace on guys. Like I don't think he's gonna be a not that I don't think I know. Like he's not gonna be a guy that's gonna be using his cardio to break people. He's a guy that has serviceable cardio, can go 15 minutes, but I think the longer this fight goes, the less likely both guys are to find a finish. So, if we're getting good prices, then we're getting good prices. What do we got? So, Reese round 2 is plus 800. Reese round 3 is plus 1500. Like those aren't bad. We're definitely gonna stab at some sub prices for sure. So Reese by sub is plus 430. Combo props Reese 2-3 sub is 11-1. Like it's a pretty good price, I think. If you want to get real freaky, you do where is it at? Reese round 2 sub 17-1. Reese round 3 sub 30-1. So I'm fine with the 11-1. So that's probably gonna be the play. I will bet that actually. I'm for sure gonna bet that. So official bets in this fight: Zach Reese money line plus 115. Zach Reese round 2, round 3 sub 11-1. I think the first round is gonna be a lot of defense from Zach. Hopefully a lot of wrestling. We're not counting on Zach to have a smart ass game plan, but hopefully some wrestling. Lean on his guy, put his back against the cage. You know what I'm saying? Make him work in this first round. That's got to be the game plan. Coaches with any type of fucking brain cells, that's got to be the game plan. So, I think, like I said, I think Zach can finish this guy in round 1, but I think way more likely it comes probably 2, middle of round 2, late round 2 type of thing. So, yeah, man. Again, stabbing at the plus money. Another huge plus money price, 11-1, 2-3 sub for my man Zach Reese. Do I have any fucking water here? A little bit. All right, so next fight. Next fight on the card is Farid Basharat and John Garza. Huge favorite. Farid is like, what's Farid right now? Something stupid. Farid, yeah, minus 600, minus 650. Comeback on the newcomer Garza, plus 450-ish, around there. I don't have any interest in this fight. I think the price is kind of ridiculous. Actually, we're going to look at some prices, but I think the price is a bit ridiculous. This price is basically telling you that John Garza is a bum, and he's not. He's not a bum. So just for that alone, I'm not going to lay a price like this. Not interested in parlaying this guy, Farid at all, a guy that kind of fights close margins, again, 15-0 record, very shiny record. Special talent, absolutely special talent. I'll take nothing away from Farid. Nasty wherever the fight goes. Deserves to be a big favorite. Deserves to be a big favorite. But like I said, man, John Garza is not a bum, not a pushover, and that's how he's being priced. So, things that I do have interest in is some of these Farid sub numbers. So, we like the sub last fight. I like some of these. I peeked at these numbers. Let's take a look at them now. Yeah, I'm happy with them, man. Farid round 2 sub plus 600. Farid round 3 sub plus 1,000. I like those numbers, man. I think that's where Farid can begin to cover a price like this. Rinse this guy in the wrestling grappling. This guy has not seen anything like Farid on the mat, not even fucking close. And it's not like he's been unfuckwittable on a mat on a regionals. We've seen him make some mistakes. We've seen him lose some transitional spots on the regionals, man. And again, you have not seen anything like Farid on these mats. So, round 2, rear naked choke, Farid Basharat, cash out plus 600 ticket. And we move the fuck on. So, yeah, that's the only thing I'm interested in, man. 600 for round 2 sub, 1,000 for round 3 sub. And, yeah, we move. Um, so I didn't make a fancy fucking graphic for this at all or anything like that. But I might have some interest, man. The next fight is Damian Pinas. Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right. Damian Pinas versus Cesar Almeida. Current price: Caesar plus 225. Pinas, damn, yeah, he's moving to like minus 260, minus 275 on some spots. Yeah, man. So I do have some interest in the dog again here in this spot. I just think, first of all, it's a price thing. I don't think Pinas should be laying a price like this versus anybody in the UFC. Well, not, I don't say not any versus anybody, but not versus Caesar, not versus this guy. I don't think he should be laying prices like this. Still young, extremely green, extremely raw. Pause. Raw Pinas. Pinas is raw. You know what I'm saying? We don't like that. We don't like that. So, young, green, grappling is completely unproven. You know, I don't want to say unproven, but suspect. Suspect. I do not believe his grappling is up to snuff. But again, that's not going to matter in a matchup like this. Caesar, credentialed kickboxing background, and that's what makes this fight so interesting, man. If Damian comes out and shooting takedowns, I tip my cap. You know what I'm saying? That just will prove the progression he's making. That'll prove that he can, smartly game plan and having a high IQ in spots like this, because that's probably how you beat Almeida. That's path of least resistance, at least. Is to shoot takedowns on his guy, put him on his back, beat him up, try to choke him out. From what I've seen and regional tape, I remember taping. I bet West Schultz against Peanuts. I bet West Schultz, big dog. I look like a fucking asshole. I get it, but that shows you where I'm at with a guy like Peanuts. Just completely unproven. I think he has holes in his grappling himself, so I don't think he's gonna be for 15 minutes shooting takedowns, getting the takedowns. Like, that's what Caesar has had to kind of worry about his whole career. Came into the UFC. Obviously, guys are gonna try to take him down. He's a kickboxing world champion. So, but yeah, man, I think this is a mostly kickboxing fight, a mostly stand-up fight, and if that's the case, then I can't justify this price. So, when I was debating the dog shot, Caesar was like plus 195 or something like that, and now, plus 225, pushing plus 230 at some spots. Like, that price is very, very interesting. The reason I haven't betted already is because the clear red flags. Caesar's 38 years old. His durability has shown to be kind of slipping. Kopylov hurt him extremely bad, and that was not the first time he's been hurt in the UFC. He's given up a lot of youth, a lot of reach to a guy like Pinas, giving up the power advantage. And Almeida's like I know he's a kickboxer and all of that shit, and I give him his respect. But he's kind of like a little bit too lackadaisical in there for me, a little bit too finessey, you know what I'm saying? No pun intended. He's just too like trying to glide out of the way and just get playing on inches, you know what I'm saying? Pause. No peanuts. He's just playing with inches, and inches when this guy Damien is throwing fucking lunchboxes at your face, if Peanuts knocks him out in the first round and covers his price, I'm not going to be shocked at all. But, we gamble on prices. We bet on prices. I truly think that this fight is, like I said, going to be stand-up most of the time. I think if Peanuts tries to implement a wrestle-heavy game plan, I don't think that's going to work out for him. And in a mostly stand-up fight, this price can't be right. It can't be right. So, I feel like I'll wait. A lot of action, especially a big Conor McGregor card and things like that. Maybe the parlay boy. I mean, the parlay boys are already all over Damien. Just so happy to parlay this guy at minus 250. It blows my fucking mind. So maybe we get more of that, and I get an even better price on Caesar when I wake up tomorrow. If that's the case, then I will bet Caesar. If I can get like plus 250, man, I'm gonna click that shit. So it's plus 220, plus 225 right now. Give me a little bit more movement, and I'm in. So, Caesar is the pick. Not a bet yet, but most likely will be. All right. What do we got? So I think we got about 100 people total watching. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Hit that like button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that sub button, man. Again, I've been slacking. I promise you guys something different at the start of the year. I promise you guys consistency. And I didn't give that to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm planning on changing that. I'm gonna do my best and try my best to change that. So hit that sub button. Come on a journey with me. We make money here. You know what I'm saying? So we've done 22 episodes of this show already, and over those 22 episodes, that's what I've proven, man. I've proven that we make money. So you guys are in the right place. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that like button. If you're on Twitter, hit that like button. Hit that retweet button. But yeah, move over to YouTube, man. Show some love there. Hit that sub button. Slowly but surely creeping up on 100 subscribers there on a YouTube channel that I kind of just started. So appreciate the love, man. Appreciate you guys for watching. I don't give a fuck if there's 2 people watching. We've had 2,000 people watching it here, you know, between Twitter and YouTube. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Again, my goal is quality, feeding the streets, helping you guys out, making you guys money. That's what I'm about. Quality and money. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, appreciate you guys. Let's move on. We got a comment. I think that's on YouTube. Yo, Finesse is Philly Faye. Hope you're doing well. Where can we find your full card bets? Appreciate you, my brother. You've been showing love for a minute. I appreciate you. We doing this now. You know, we doing this now. I'm giving out all my bets here. We got some stuff in the works. So some stuff coming soon. Stay tuned, my brother. Like I said, you've been showing love for a minute. Appreciate you for tuning in. We cooking up some stuff and coming soon for sure. All right, next fight on the card is one that I believe I'm gonna have interest in as well. Tracy Cortez versus Wang Kong. Dead even when I made these graphics last night. Let's look now. Yeah, I mean, you can get some plus money on Tracy, plus 102 on DraftKings, minus 105. So ever so slight movement towards Kong. So yeah, man, very interesting fight. Very, very good fight. Good women's flyweight scrap, man. Excited to watch this fight. Tracy's, you know, I'm a fan of Tracy as a fighter. I'm a fan of Tracy as a bettor. She's made me a lot of money in my UFC betting career. So special place in my heart for Tracy, man. She's a fucking dog too. She's an absolute dog. And these are kind of the spots where I like to back a fighter like Tracy, man. Even money, short dog money, you know. She's going to fight for your money no matter what. Well-rounded. She's proven that, you know. People like to rag on her striking and her boxing, but, you know, especially over her last 3 or 4 fights, she's shown the vast improvements she's made in her stand-up game. And obviously wrestling is her bread and butter, wrestling and grappling, and she's a beast there as well. And I like her in this spot, man. I truly think Tracy's the sharp side in this spot. The price, I believe, is very... I was talking to my man Locke about this last night. The price, I think, is very telling. You know, I know Wang got fucking knocked the fuck out and choked the fuck out not too long ago. But despite that, you know, that was a fight she was dominating. And despite that loss, still feels like the stock is very, very high on Wang Kong. Extremely high. You know, I think a lot of people talk about her... sharps, squares, doesn't matter. I think a lot of people talk about her as this kind of world beater. You know what I'm saying? As this just fucking boogeyman. I think she's very good. I think she's very, very good. Very, very, very good. I don't believe those things, though. You know, I think she has holes that can be exploited. You know, but before we get there, so that's public sentiment, I feel like. And I feel like I'm pretty tapped in, you know, ear to the motherfucking streets. That's the sentiment on Wang Kong. And then you look at this price, you know, the sentiment on Tracy's not the same. You know, true ball knowers and true gamblers, I think, for the most part, respect Tracy and what she brings to the octagon. But people besides that, I feel like, don't respect Tracy's game, don't respect what she's about, don't view her as a top prospect, you know, even though I believe she's ranked right now. I think she's been ranked for a little while. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So those two completely opposite public sentiments, and then you look at the price, and it's like it seems kind of too easy, right? Like Wang, and that's what I've been seeing all fucking week, especially with these, fucking little twerps online, these little fade pages, it's like Wang Kong, easy money, easy money. Oh, it's a gift. It's a gift. Like when are the books ever in the business of giving out gifts? Obviously it's our job to sniff out lines that we think have value, but come on, man, gifts don't exist. The books aren't the books by giving out gifts. So I think this line is very telling. First of all, first and foremost. And then second of all, yeah, man. I mean, Wayne Kong's last fight against Eduardo Mora, again, that's a little bit different. Mora is fucking huge. I know Mora was, again, I hate being wrong, so I'm gonna fact check in real time. That fight was at flyweight, I believe, right? Hold on, 1 second. I was at a catchweight actually, probably because Mora's fat ass. I smoked too much. I mean, I can't remember what he's fucking. When was this card? Not even that long ago. Yeah, fucking February. So yeah, either way, I believe that was a move up for more. Damn, I really don't want to be wrong, man, and get fucking debated. Now I gotta check. Okay. So it was indeed because of Mora's fat ass. So they fought at 127. The Lauren Murphy fight was flyweight. Okay, so that was her third. That was her third fight moving up. Cause she was fucking killing herself to get to 15, man. Anyways, strawweight, flyweight, big for the division. So it's not the same fucking type of matchup. Similar though, similar. We saw Eduardo kind of give Wang all she could handle in that fight. Very close fight. I know it was unanimous decision. One judge had it 30-27. I think that was complete bullshit. As we see every fucking week from these judges. But close fight, man. Wang was teetering on losing that fight. And again, I don't think this is the same type of matchup. Mora is obviously bigger. I think more physical than Tracy. I think... Nah, fuck that. I don't think she's a better wrestler than Tracy. So I think bigger, more physical, but Tracy brings a lot of those same things, man. I think just as good of a wrestler. Probably better in terms of control. Probably not a better grappler than Mora. I think that's where Mora has the edge. But I don't think Mora's a better wrestler than Tracy. And I think that's what matters in this fight. I think Tracy's going to get the takedowns. Kong is not going to make it easy, man. Kong, like I said, devastating striker. Very nasty low kicks. Very nasty boxing, especially when she's stringing her combinations together. And can defend takedowns, man. It's not easy to take it down. Mora has success, but she was 3 of 12 on takedowns. You know what I'm saying? She got 8 minutes of control, which is, again, I think, kind of what I'm leaning into, man. I think Tracy can mimic some of those things. Probably a better technical wrestler than a girl like Mora, and most importantly, better cardio than Mora. So, I respect Wang's cardio a lot, especially in a high-paced fight like that Mora fight. But Tracy is not going to slow down. Tracy's cardio, Tracy has 15-minute wrestling cardio for sure. I do not question that at all. So those things are why I favor Tracy. Those things are why I think Tracy's the sharp side in this fight. Give me the plus 102. Probably just a half unit spot because, again, I can completely see, like, I'm not stupid, man. I can completely see a world where this is either a razor close fight. Nobody has any idea who won. I can completely see me thinking Tracy won. Again, absolutely fucking robbed. And I can also see Wang dominating on the feet, man. Like, as much as I think Tracy's improved on the feet, as much as I think she is now a serviceable boxer, she's not a better striker than Wang Kong, man. Let's not get that shit twisted. So, yeah, man, I'm not delusional to that fact. But again, we're getting plus money. And Tracy has advantages in this fight. So, from a price perspective, I think from a kind of line, like reading the line perspective, I think Tracy's the sharp side. So That's the side I want to be on. Probably a half unit shot. Tracy moneyline plus 102. The decision price is probably not great. But I mean, let's check. Let's check. Tracy by sub is 13-1, man. The books are telling you that a Wang Kong submission is more likely than a Tracy Cortez submission. That's fucking wild to me, man. That is wild to me. How many? Okay, that I don't think I've seen that this week yet. That's kind of fucking baffling to me, man. Tracy one sub on a record, and that was in 2018. So no UFC subs. Yeah, I mean it's not surprising, man. Like that's not surprising to me. Maybe earlier in her career when she's fighting like the Eggers of the world, the Agapovas and shit like that. But Gato, JJ, Rose, Araujo, Aaron, like, I don't. I'm not saying like the plus 1300 is wide as fuck and she should be, plus 200 for a sub, but the fact that Wang Kong by sub is almost half the price as Tracy by sub is fucking baffling to me. So, like I don't mind that either. Like maybe getting greedy and playing Tracy. Tracy round 2 sub is 33-1. Tracy round 3 sub is 40-1. Like those shit not gonna hit, but like I'm gonna probably DJ and play those shits. I will play those. I will play those. Tracy sub round 2, Tracy sub round 3, 33-1, 40-1. We'll make those official. Tracy money line half unit shot plus 102. We'll make that official as well. Yeah, man. Excited for this fight. Great fight. All right. Gotta try to quicken the fucking pace here. I always do this shit. I want to get in, I want to get out, and then I yap too much, and now here we are. So that does the early prelims. Moving on to the prelims. Opening up the prelims is Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka. I don't have any interest in this fight. I'm not, I know Luke is coming off a devastating KO against Bogdan Grad. I bet Grad in that spot. I think Grad was like plus 250. Bet Grad in that spot, knowing damn well he can get knocked the fuck out. Bogdan had an amazing first round, did exactly what I was expecting him to. Wrestled, boxed him up, mixed the martial arts together, and was outclassing Luke Riley. And then got sloppy as fuck. Stayed in the pocket too long, got knocked the fuck out. And that's exactly what Riley does, is knock people out, especially chinny-ass motherfuckers. Kai Kamaka is not that. So I faded him with Bogdan for a reason. I don't think he should be laying these type of prices. He's like minus 250. So I'm not interested in this fight. It's dog or pass, but I'm not interested in the dog in this spot. So next fight I do have interest in is Adrian Yanez versus No Love, Cody Garbrandt. So let's see if the odds have changed from what's on the screen. Yanez currently, you can snatch some minus 400s, but still around the same, minus 420. Come back on Cody, yeah, around the same, plus 320, plus 330, so same as on the screen. No hot takes here. I like Yanez. I think Yanez is parlayable in a spot like this. I'm thinking about just going full fucking square and going Kavanaugh Yanez. And get it right, motherfuckers. It's not Yanez, it's Yanez. You know what I'm saying? Get it right. Make sure you get that shit right. Anyways, that's probably what I'm going to go with. I don't know. I'll decide by the time we get to the Kavanaugh fight, because, again, I want to give you guys official plays and things like that. But, I think the odds are justified in a spot like this. Yanez, I bet him in his last fight. He got robbed in his last fight, right? That was Yanez. I always confuse Yanez with against Ricky Simone. Yeah, he won that fight somehow, a fucking draw. This sport, like, I love it so much, man, but like it just the most pain ever, man. The most fucking pain ever. Anyways, backed him in that spot, got fucked. I think he was a dog in that spot, so obviously a much different thing now. He's a huge favorite. It's a completely different situation, but Cody at this point in his career He just does nothing, man. He just does nothing. It used to be a couple years ago, he was still kind of doing nothing, but he still is throwing them hammers, throwing the lunch boxes, at least trying to get that one shot KO, the shit that he's known for. But he's really not even fucking trying no more, man. It's a lot of circling the fucking cage. It's a big cage in Vegas this week, so he's probably gonna be doing a lot of that. Yeah, man. Yanez much, much longer, almost a 5-inch reach advantage. He's gonna be the one pressuring. He's gonna be the one throwing a lot more volume, catching Cody. Yanez way more durable than Cody. Yeah, man. So that's about it, man. Like I said, I'm not a parlay kind of guy or hey, let's put all the fucking favorites together type of guy, but I like Yanez in this spot, man. I think he wins. I think he probably wins by finish. Yanez is not a guy that likes to, this guy's dancing around. Let me just control the center and just kind of outpoint him. Like, he's not that type of guy. He's a volume-based guy. He's going to bring the fight to Cody as best he can while Cody attempts to fucking run the whole time and counter, I guess. So, yeah, man, I don't know if he puts Cody out. I mean, that's how you cover that price like this, but Cody's just so weaselly and so, non-aggressive at this point in his career that maybe he weasels his way past 15 minutes and just fucking loses 30-27. But, yeah, man, I think it's Yanez. I think it's Yanez by KO. I will be parlaying them, and it's that fucking simple. The next fight is, I think, I'd have to fact check this. That's what I'm hearing this week. Probably the biggest favorite in UFC history. The 3-0 Gable Steveson versus Elijah Ellison. Let's check current motherfucking price so we can all laugh together. Wow, so there's actually a big price discrepancy. So he's only minus 1,600 on DraftKings. He's minus 3,000 on FanDuel. That's a big discrepancy. Two humongous fucking prices, but still, that's a big discrepancy. So yeah, man, get that value in, man. Get that value in on DraftKings. Lay 1,600 to win $100. Because at least you could tell yourself that you got a steal of a number. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that fucking matters. Man, 1,600, 3,000, 5,000. It should be 5 billion. It should be minus too much. That's what it should be in a spot like this. Gable's gonna smash this guy. Gable is the best American wrestler ever. The best American wrestler ever. People fucking twerps on fucking Twitter. Oh, why is Gable getting a shot like this? Like, is Dana White privilege? Like, bro, he's the most fucking accomplished American wrestler in the history of the world. Olympic gold medalist. Just the most decorated U.S. wrestler ever. So, he's 3-0, smashed 3 guys, making his UFC debut, and this is an obvious layup spot. The fact of the matter is, or not the fact of the matter, the thing is, like, just where the value is. That's our job, like I said. Where's the value? So let's check. This fight plays out, the way this fight plays out all depends on Gable's mentality. Does Gable want to be a fucking dickhead and test his striking for 5 minutes, 15 minutes? I don't know. Like, does he want to just be a dickhead? Oh, I want to get cage time and I want to fucking, I want to sharpen my fucking tool. Like, no, bro. But that may be what he's thinking. If his mentality is to fucking destroy and make a statement on this Conor card on UFC 329 like he should be doing, he double legs the fuck out of him. First try, he's going to get it. Just absolutely spear Elijah into the fucking sunken place and pound his fucking face in. I mean, it's literally that simple. That's literally what just happened to Elijah. Not necessarily ground and pound, but the man just got absolutely fucking killed. So, I know people are playing like under half a round and, fucking Gable to win. And I was talking with Locke about this last night too. Like, Gable to win inside of 60 seconds. Right? So Gable Steveson to win inside the first 60 seconds of the fight is only plus 430. That is a terrible fucking price. Like, it could hit, but you only get 60 seconds. And, man, I don't know. I don't like that price. It's absolutely disgusting fucking price. I think if Gable wins, it's obviously by finish. I think if Gable wins, I think it's by KO. So, it's just everything is just disgusting. Like Gable round 1 KO is minus 150. Like what are the combo props? Gable round 1, round 2 KO minus 210. Like I don't know, man. I truly think, in my opinion, say what you want, I don't give a shit. Gable KO round 1 minus 150, I think is value. I truly do. Because like I said, if his mentality, whatever his mentality is, you know what I'm saying? That smash, Gable smash, Gable smash. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. Double leg the fuck out of him, pound his face in, easy as that. So maybe we get some funny business where we get a ref who, maybe we get Herb Dean, who is just gonna fucking hope that Elijah dies and just stands there thinking about what he's gonna have for dinner later. Maybe is that type of situation. Maybe, I don't know, man. I just don't see a world where Gable is not gonna take him down and pound his face off the mat. You know what I'm saying? So, I know it's nasty work, minus 150 for a round one KO. I know it's nasty work, but at the end of the day, he's fucking minus 3,000. So we're getting a minus 3,000, cutting that shit down to minus 150, and I think that number has value. So that's probably what I'll play if I play anything in this fight. Moving on. So next fight, Bobby Knuckles moving up to light heavyweight. Robert Whittaker versus Nikita Krylov. Current odds, same as on the screen. This is a very interesting fight for a lot of reasons. Obviously, the main one being Bobby moving up to light heavyweight. I can see why. He wasn't really having necessarily the most success in the world anymore. At 35, at 85s. Lost 3 of his last 5, back-to-back losses. So, people are saying they don't get it, or it's desperation, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I guess, but I just think Rob sees guys like Nikita Krylov at light heavyweight, and he's like, oh, I can make another fucking run, I think that division is very, very light, very weak at the top. I think he thinks the same thing, and I think he can make a run. So, the pick is Bobby. My pick is Bobby. I haven't bet him yet, because there's obviously some concerns. Brand new weight class. Durability is kind of, his chin has never been the best, but his recoverability and durability has always been, or for a long time has been, bulletproof. We're kind of seeing that start to slow down a little bit. Cardio hasn't looked absolutely amazing. Like in the RDR fight, I know that's a very volatile fight, right? He was slowing down very early in that fight. I don't know, RDR just kind of does that to people. Then he almost knocks RDR the fuck out, kind of empties the gas tank, but still pushes through that. I think he lost rounds 4 and round 5, but correct me if I'm wrong. It was a very close fight, but I think Bobby still won that fight. And again, it is a weight down, but that's against RDR, who absolutely destroys himself to get to middleweight. Gigantic guy for middleweight, and a good barometer. I think that's a good bar for a guy like this. People are questioning, how is Robert going to do with the length and the size and the physicality at light heavyweight, against a true light heavyweight, man. This RDR was fighting at heavyweight at one. You know what I'm saying? Light heavyweight in one championship. And RDR is a guy who is not only gigantic for the division, but he's a guy that uses that shit. Probably the best of anybody in the UFC. Like, he's not a skilled guy like that, especially on the feet. But he just uses his size and physicality to fucking break people. So now he's fighting a guy who similar size. Like, what do they have the Ritter as? 6'4", 78-inch reach. Right? Nikita Krylov, 6'3", 77.5-inch reach. And Nikita does not use those traits the same as a guy like RDR. I know he did that a little bit in his last fight, but against Bukauskas, kind of lean on him a little bit in round one, but he's not a guy that wants to do that. He wants to play at range. He wants to strike. Notoriously, especially for us bettors, Nikita's a guy that notoriously is stubborn and doesn't wrestle, doesn't grapple when he should. And with a fucking baby chin like Nikita has, that's a problem. And that's why I favor Robert Whittaker in this spot. Coming off the last fight, so he's proven that he can kind of still deal with that with these huge guys. You know, he's always been undersized. But fighting that fight versus RDR shows me a lot in a matchup like this. And yeah, man, Nikita's just so fucking hittable, man. Robert's gonna be the way more athletic guy, the way quicker guy, and he throws down the middle, man, and that's all you need to knock a guy like Nikita the fuck out. You know, Robert has made a career off his blitz. You know, the Robert Whittaker blitz forward. And I think that shit could work against Krylov. You know, Krylov constantly fights with his chin in the motherfucking air, just completely in the heavens. He's also very sloppy in the pocket, man. He stays in the pocket way too long. His footwork is dog shit in the pocket. He kind of like he throws his combination and then he's kind of just like there, like goofy ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of there, hanging out in the pocket. And I think that's terrible against a guy like Robert Whittaker. So there are question marks. You know, there are question marks. Robert is how old? Like 38? No. Where the fuck is it? Hello? 35. So my fault, Rob. 35. But still a lot of miles on them tires. A lot of wear and tear on the body. So the durability, the cardio is maybe on the decline. You know what I'm saying? New weight class. So there are some concerns, are some red flags, but you're not being asked to lay a crazy ass price. I can definitely see Bobby getting the knockout in a spot like this. What are those prices? Bobby by KO plus 240. If it happens, I think is relatively earlier in the fight. So Bobby round 1 KO is 6-1. Bobby round 2 KO is 9-1. I might stab at those. Probably will, most likely. Whether I play Bobby moneyline or not, I will play those prices. Kind of lean into a little bit more of the volatility, play the bigger prices. But I feel like if I'm doing good in the card, you know, if I've hit some big tickets already, why not, you know, throw 3/4 of a unit or a unit on Bobby? I do think he is the side. He is the pick. Bobby, early round 2 KO. Moving on. Come on, man. Where we at? All right. So that wraps up the prelims, man. Moving on to the main card UFC 329. Absolutely banger of a main card. If you have not already, hit that like button. Appreciate you guys a ton. Just something very quick, very easy to do, to show some love. I put a lot of work into this show, a lot of work into my job overall, man. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content and truly finding value, man. Because I think true value. I hate to fucking break my hand, pat myself on the back, but true value from, you know, a guy that has put up the results that I have, I think that's very rare, you know, especially with all the bullshit that's out there now. So hopefully you guys are enjoying, and yeah, we're gonna make some money, man. So, and a lot of our money is going to be made on this fucking main card, man. So don't go nowhere. Opening up the main card of UFC 329, Bobby King Green against Terrence McKinney. Let's check current prices. So some money came in on Bobby, which I like to see. Bobby, wow. So it's going to flip most likely, which I love to see. I think this line is definitely trending towards flipping. Like, it's kind of all over the place. You know, Bobby's up to minus 120 on places like Hard Rock, Bet Rivers, Bally's. You still get some minus 105, things like that. On the other side, Terrence minus 105. Terrence is minus 120 in some books. So very much all over the place, but we are seeing some Bobby King Green steam. I like Bobby in this spot. One of my more passionate takes on the card. I locked him in at plus 115, the price that's on the screen. Any plus money I'm cool with. Multi-unit play for me. Multi-unit play for me. I love Bobby in this spot. I gave a little write-up on Twitter, but, I'll keep it short and sweet, man. It's just an auto-click spot, even with the kind of the red flags that Bobby brings inherently in every single fight. Not the best chin in the world. Fights with his hands down, kind of that Philly shell, kind of slip and roll kind of defense, you know what I'm saying? That can get you into trouble as it has in the past. Even with those, man, just absolute auto click, especially at this price. You give me Bobby King Green against a guy who can't fight, I'm not a guy that's going to be disparaging ever when it comes to fighters, ever. You're never going to hear me talking shit, oh, this guy's a fucking bum, fuck this guy. But Terrence is not a UFC fighter, in my opinion. Terrence is an athlete. Good wrestler, don't get me wrong. Good wrestler, good grappler. I would say that's his prototype. A freak athlete, grappler. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a complete fighter. I don't think he's a fighter, at this level. So, freak athlete, like I said, but you're going to give me Bobby Green versus a guy that again, just my opinion, I don't think he is a UFC fighter. A guy with 3 minutes of cardio. A guy with an absolute baby chin. I made him my baby chin play of the week. Absolute baby chin. So all of those things, and you're going to give me Bobby at plus money? Come on, man. Bobby has made an entire fucking career. It's been, I think, almost like 20 years now. Something like that. Maybe not 20 fully. Maybe like 15 plus. Of Bobby making a career of being extremely hard to hit. Extremely, like I said, he's gotten deaded before. Don't get me wrong. He's gotten deaded before, kind of playing around in the pocket. He's gotten caught. But getting caught against a guy like Jalen Turner, just athletic freak in different ways, right? Extremely long for the division. A humongous guy, a freak frame. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not a freak athlete, but a freak frame. A guy who is lightning fast, very good boxer, very technical boxer, throw shit down the middle. Completely different, man. Like, you're not going to compare Bobby getting slept by fucking Jalen Turner, Tarantula, to Terrence McKinney, man. Let's stop it. Like I said, you're going to give me Bobby against a guy who chinny, no cardio. His boxing is absolute dog shit. Absolutely. He's winging hooks. That's all he does. Comes out as soon as the opening bell rings, runs across the cage, winging hooks, looking to take you down. You know what I'm saying? Audio is fried, for real? My audio is fried? Oh, okay. We've been doing this shit like an hour. I was about to catch a fucking heart attack. Oh my goodness. Scared me to death. Appreciate you though. What was I saying? Yeah, so a guy just throwing, sloppy ass hooks, looking to shoot. Like, Bobby has shown to not only be able to handle those guys, but Bobby got a lot of tools in his bag, man. Bobby got grappling. Bobby got front chokes. Bobby can deal with pressure, man. He's made a career off of that shit. Arguably Bobby's best position in the cage is with his own back against the cage. Just kind of baiting you in, rolling some of the best vision and eyes in the UFC, period. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this is one of my more passionate takes. So I'm obviously passionate about the read. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like, at plus money is disrespectful. It's disrespectful, bro. Outright. So, again, we talked about guys like, I think we talked about this with Gandra. Terrence McKinney's win condition, his only win condition, is winning inside the first maybe 3 or 4 minutes of the fight. So am I going to be shocked if he hits his win condition? Nah, not at all. But it's not like we're laying minus 200 on a guy like Bobby Green. We're getting plus money, so we can take a little bit more chances, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm going to lose my bet. It is what it is. I've lost $1 million. I'll lose $1 million more, you know what I'm saying? But I have full confidence that getting a price like this, I'm going to win way more than I lose, you know what I'm saying? And that's what that matters. So there's a few fucking commandments in life. There's a few codes that you live by in life, and one of those fucking codes is never bet Terrence McKinney at minus money, ever. I don't give a fuck what happens in this fight. I don't give a fuck if he finishes Bobby in the first 60 seconds. You never lay juice on Terrence McKinney. You will be in massive pain. You will regret it. That's it. That's it. So Bobby King Green, like I said, multi-unit play at plus 115. Any plus money, I would lay multiple units on. Just me personally, if you're getting like minus money, minus 120, minus 130, I'd still feel very, very comfortable playing Bobby at that price. So, yeah, man. And Bobby, I've had a great read on Bobby throughout his career. Bobby's made me a shit ton of money. I bet him against Jeremy Stevens. I bet Bobby sub in that spot. I did that live on this motherfucking show, so you don't gotta take my word for it. Go back and look. We took Bobby. We took Bobby by sub. I did not have him in the Zoe Huber fight, but I didn't fade him either. Yeah, man. Had him against Jim Miller. Had him against Grant Dawson. That was like a fucking plus 500 cash. So, yeah, man. He's been good to me. I think that continues this Saturday. There's also some beef too, man. It seemed a little bit like it's like it's manufactured by Bobby, but I don't give a fuck. You know, give me a angry, motivated, a guy that feels like he's being disrespected by Terrence. Like, give me Bobby to absolutely put on a show, piece this motherfucker up, and get rid of this gas can. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Next fight, Brandon Royval versus Loner Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, sizable favorite. Yeah, same prices as on the screen. I mentioned this earlier. I like Loner. I think Loner's special, man. Special talent. Special talent. I've said that in almost every single one of his fights. I've said that even after he got knocked the fuck out by Charles Johnson, a fight that he was absolutely dominating and slipped up for a second, and Charles made him pay for it. So shout out to Charles. Brandon Royval, Road Dog, named for a reason, man. That man is a dog, absolute dog. Uses his length extremely well, throws well in combination. Mostly a striker, but doesn't mind getting dirty, doesn't mind fighting from the pocket, fighting from range, doesn't really matter. So I respect Brandon a shit ton. I respect Brandon a ton. But I think Loner's on a different level. It's as simple as that. Levels to this shit. I think Loner's a better striker, more power. We've seen Royval's chin tested, cracked multiple times already. I think Loner can do the same. Loner continues to prove and answer the questions that anybody could possibly have about him, you know. I was high on him coming into the UFC. I bet him on Dana White's Contender Series. He showed what he had there. UFC debut against Jose Ochoa, who anybody who knows, the sport, knows about Jose Ochoa, knows that Jose Ochoa is a motherfucking savage. So to beat Jose Ochoa in your UFC debut, absolutely impressive. Beats a guy like Felipe Dos Santos, another very dangerous guy. Again, drops that fight, gets knocked the fuck out by Charles, is what it is, and then comes back main event spot on short notice against a former multiple champion of the world, Brandon Moreno, and absolutely fucking styles on Brandon Moreno. So, like I said, I was high on him coming into the UFC. Again, of course, I had questions about him, but he's answered a lot of the questions that I've had about him. A focused Loner Kavanaugh for 15 minutes, I think does the same thing. Styles on Brandon, knocks him the fuck out in round 2, round 3. So I probably will play that. The 2-leg parlay, Loner Kavanaugh, Adrian Yanez. That'll pay. Let's see what that pays on FanDuel real quick. Excuse me. UFC fights. All right, so Yanez, Kavanaugh, minus 125. You probably get better somewhere else. Probably get closer to even money. I like that parlay a lot. Usually what I like to do with two pieces like this, I play the 2-piece. If I'm laying prices like this, that normally means I like the guys to win by finish. So I'll probably stack them, right? So I'll do Yanez, Kavanaugh, moneyline parlay, get the best price you can. And then if we go Kavanaugh by finish, so KO or sub, And then we go Yanez by finish. KO or sub. That is plus 450. Again, you could probably get like plus 500 somewhere in the market, but I like that a lot. And then I'll probably parlay their KOs too. So what is that? Yanez KO is only fucking minus 105. Yeah, his ITD is minus 120. The KO is minus 125. So I don't know. I'll play around with the rounds. Maybe a Yanez 2-3 KO. Loner 2-3 KO. Like that's probably how I'm gonna be rocking. Now I gotta see what it is just because I'm a degenerate. So Yanez 2-3 KO. Kavanaugh 2-3 KO. Sorry about that. Wow. So yeah, I mean that's pretty generous. So Yanez 2-3 KO. Kavanaugh 2-3 KO. 2180 on FanDuel, plus 2180 on FanDuel. Again, probably can get better somewhere else. That will be the stack that we run with. Yanez, Kavanaugh moneyline parlay, Yanez, Kavanaugh, both ITD, plus 500, and then Yanez, Kavanaugh, both to win by KO in rounds 2 or 3, plus 2180. We'll call it 2200. I love that stack. So yeah, man, that does it for this fight. Let's move on so I can get you guys out of here. Feature bout: Sandman, Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista. Odds, same as on the screen. I'll keep this one short because I originally was not going to play this fight. I didn't really have a lot of interest in this fight. Still think, technically, that this is just two extremely high-level fighters. I think this is going to be an extremely high-level fight, extremely close fight, and I don't want to be on either side. Like, I don't want to fade Corey. I don't want to fade Mario. So I just stay away, enjoy the fight, enjoy the fucking beautiful mixed martial art exhibition that they're going to put on, you know what I'm saying? And just enjoy it. But then I got some breaking news. I saw that the fucking Fade God of the world is on Mario Bautista. Since then, I've seen multiple Fade Gods on Mario Bautista, like several, like three plus Fade Gods, all aligned, synced up on Mario Bautista. So when the world gives you signs, when the world hands you lemons, you gotta squeeze them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take the gifts as they come. So I'm gonna take the fucking gift. I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm gonna play Corey Sandhagen and do what you got to do with the Fade Gods. You got to fade them. You know what I'm saying? So it's as simple as that for me. I told you my read on the fight. I think it's going to be a close fight. I don't really want to be caught fading either of these guys, but the Fade Gods talk and I just listen. You know, who am I to disrespect them? So that's it for me. Co-main event of the evening. Absolute banger, man. Absolute banger. BSD, Benoit Saint Denis. War against Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Odds right now, Benoit. You can get a little bit friendlier of a price than what's on the screen. You get some minus 130s, minus 140s. Come back on Paddy. Yeah, around that same thing. Plus 120 to plus 130. I like BSD in this fight. Before tape, when fight week started, I thought that I was gonna be on Paddy. I'm like, again, before tape and all that shit, I'm like, how does BSD win this fight? I'm like, Paddy has the grappling to compete with him. That's obviously what Benoit wants to do, is take you down, grapple you. Paddy has the grappling to compete, probably better grappling. Paddy's striking is dog shit, but it's better than Benoit's. Benoit's boxing is atrocious. We've seen BSD absolute deaded in the octagon. We haven't seen that with Paddy, so both guys' striking defense are horrific. But Paddy seems to have the tougher chin, be more durable. So all of these advantages at plus money, I'm like, oh, how the fuck is Paddy not to play? You know, how is Paddy Pimblett not to play in this spot? And then I watched tape. And after tape, I was like, I was less excited for some reasons that we'll talk about. And then, you know, I'm not too proud. You know, I like to talk to the people that I think are very smart, smarter than me, the sharpest people I know, you know, that fuck with the UFC. I like to talk to them, pick their brains so I can get better, and I can make more money. You know, they can help me make more money, which is what I want to do for you guys. So, speaking to them, and bro, almost all of them, it was like 90% loved BSD in this spot, loved him in this spot. So, you know, I was already, you know, I moved from heavy on Patty to kind of more on the fence after tape and doing my deep dive and shit to now I'm officially playing Benoit, you know? So I think the biggest reason is the wrestling. I think the wrestling is going to be huge in this fight. Patty is a very, very skilled grappler, very opportunistic grappler. We saw that, you know, fights that come to mind, the Bobby Green fight. You know, Bobby makes one fucking mistake and the fight is over, you know? So very opportunistic, very nasty with the grappling. But where I think Benoit is better, much, much better, is the wrestling. I think Patty's wrestling, especially defensively, is not good. We've seen that time and time again. Jared Gordon fight. Like, how many times did he get taken down in that fight? It was like several, like more than 2, I believe. Yeah, 3 out of 6. So Jared Gordon went 3 out of 6, had 7 minutes of control time. Jared fucking Gordon. You know what I'm saying? The Michael Chandler fight. Also, kind of concerning. Again, I know he knocked Chandler out in the 3rd round, but Chandler, 4 of 7 on takedowns, 3 minutes of control time. I can't see that being and again, this is Michael Chandler. This is current Michael Chandler. This is not fucking Bellator Michael Chandler. This is current Michael Chandler. 4 of 7 on takedowns, almost a full round of control time. I just don't think you can do that against BSD. BSD is violence personified. I just don't think you can be given those spots, those positions up to a guy like BSD. We also saw in the Gaethje fight, like, yes, Scousers don't get knocked out, and we haven't really. I don't think before that. I don't think we've seen him drop. I don't believe. I'd have to fact check that, but I don't think we've seen him drop in the UFC before the Gaethje fight, where he got dropped several times, and half of those was kind of like him getting hit with shots, but kind of just like withering to the ground. Like, those are not good looks. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I don't worry about BSD's boxing. BSD's boxing is not good, but some of the nastiest body kicks in the game. Leg kicks are going to be there. Body kicks are going to be there all day with Patty, against Patty. And the wrestling, man. I think wrestling makes a difference. So if you're going to try to, you know, pull Gilly and play off your back against BSD, BSD is going to be smashing you from top position. You know, throwing elbows, cutting you up. You know, and those are huge things, man. Those are things that sway rounds, sway fights. You know, one elbow might not even land fully, but one elbow cuts you open. Now the judges see blood, and, you know, now it's almost an auto round for the guy that made you bleed. You know what I'm saying? So, like BSD in the spot, I think he gets the wrestling going. Let me pull up DraftKings too, because I was flirting with some shit for sure. So, what the fuck is this? All right. So UFC, Benoit, fighter props. So Benoit, takedowns landed over 2.5 plus 120. I think I was hoping for like a 1.5. I'm not in love with that. I think he gets it though. Like, I still think Patty's tough as fuck, durable. So I think this fight is going to play out. I think this fight is going to be a little bit prolonged. See the 2nd round, possibly see the 3rd round. And I can see Benoit rinsing and repeating. You know, getting a takedown, Patty working up, Benoit getting another takedown right away, kind of a mat return situation, racking up the takedowns. You know what I'm saying? So plus over 2.5 takedowns. Plus, it is plus money, so you got that plus 120 for over 2.5 takedowns for Benoit. I'm not going to make that an official play, but that is a heavy, heavy lean for me because I think that's his path. I think that's how he wins this fight. I think he gets the takedowns, does enough damage from top, does significant damage from top, rips those body kicks from distance, kind of score that way. So, yeah, man, co-main event, great fight, great scrap. I respect Patty a lot. I think Patty showed a lot. I think Patty showed a lot in in the Gaethje fight. I know he got his ass whooped, but showed a lot in that fight. Very tough. I do not think this is a good matchup for him, and usually we see that. Guys getting, um, championship. What? No. I'm thinking about a different fight, but was that was interim championship, right? Yeah, interim champ. That's what it was. So interim championship, guys kind of coming off shots like that. Those are not guys you want to back. I know Patty's plus money and that kind of softens the blow, but yeah, man, like BSD in the spot, great co-main, but my money is on BSD already. Love the spot, a little bit better price than what's on screen too. You can get right now. My man Murray did DJ in the YouTube chat. 60 plus viewers. Hit that like button, boys. Much love. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for encouraging the people. Listen to the man. You heard the man. Hit that like button. Share the stream wherever you're at. If you're on Twitter, very, very easy to do so. Just hit that retweet button. But yeah, if you're watching on Twitter, hop over to YouTube. Give me a follow there. Give me a subscribe there. And yeah, man, let's move on, man, because we have probably the biggest fight, not probably, the biggest fight of the year, man. It's a Conor fight. Fuck am I talking about? The biggest fight of the year. Conor McGregor making his long-awaited, long-anticipated return after 5 long years away from the fight game. To fight Max Blessed Holloway, man. What a main event. Like I said, Conor's the guy that got me entrenched into the game. So I'm going to be absolutely glued to my seats. Goosebumps all over the place. It's going to be absolute fucking cinema. And this is a fascinating fight, man. Fascinating fight. Current odds, very similar to the ones that are on screen. So I could talk about this fight for fucking 3 hours, but I'm not going to, obviously. It's such an interesting fight, man. Like, the heart says, listen, Conor's plus 200, why not? He deserves the money. Even if he loses, gets starched, he deserves the money. Why not have a little bit of fun? But when I was thinking about that was at a much different price. Conor was like plus 400, plus 450, you know what I'm saying? Now he's under plus 200, so it's a completely different conversation. I have ruled out playing Conor. I've ruled that out already. Because I think that would be extremely disrespectful to Max, and I like money. I don't like losing money. And that was my New Year's resolution, bro, is to just be a little bit tighter, a little bit more disciplined, especially when it comes to fading guys. Like, maybe I like the matchup, blah, 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 but am I comfortable fading this guy at this point in their careers and all of that shit? I think it would be incredibly disrespectful to Max for me to fade Conor. I mean, I'm sorry, I said that all fucked up. It would be completely disrespectful of me to fade Max with a guy like Conor, with a guy off a 5-year layoff, with a guy that's 37 years old, coming off a catastrophic leg injury, fucking broke his leg in half. And not only a 5-year layoff, what happened in those 5 years? Just extraneous amounts of cocaine, extraneous amounts of alcoholic beverages, probably a combination of both a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I can't do it. I'm going to fade Max Holloway, who's still very clearly in his prime. Like early in the week, I'm trying to justify that shit. Like, oh, Max, he's moving up to 70. It's brand new for him. And that is true. And that's one red flag that I have. Max fighting at 170 for the first time ever. We saw the first time he moved to 55. He got destroyed by Dustin Poirier because he was small. It took him a while to kind of fill into that lightweight frame. Now, he very, very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Very comfortably at 155, fully filled into his 55 frame. We see the damage he could do at 55, but now you're moving up again, and I think that kind of evens the playing field a little bit. I think that favors Conor, a guy that has several UFC fights, several wins at 170. So, but yeah, man. So I ruled out playing Conor. That's done. My thing is, on the flip side, like, this may be a fucking generational. I tweeted this a couple days ago. It may be a generational wealth spot A generational Max Holloway well spot. Max was minus 400. Now he's like minus 200, you know? And that, again, there's no way, there's no site that you can look at. There's no resource that you can have that you can be 100,000% sure what's sharp money, what's public money. It's just impossible. But all of the alerts and all of the things that I look at, all that money, not all of it. Again, it's hard to tell and hard to quantify, right? But a lot of that money that came in to push this line all the way to where it is now is casual money. Casual money. 92%. This was as of like midday yesterday. Over 90% of the money was on Conor. Over 90%. That's fucking crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I'm a Conor fanboy. I am a Conor fanboy. But I'm also a professional gambler. You know, with brain cells, you know. I have to make bets with this, you know what I'm saying? So all of that public love, all of that love. Like usually you don't get a $2.50 line movement just off casual money. So I'm probably some sharps hopped in there too. But yeah, man, a lot of fucking casual money coming in. And I think that's gonna continue. You know, it's gonna be fight day. All the casuals gonna open their app, one action, you know what I'm saying? All these degenerate game, one action. They see Conor McGregor at plus 200, like they're gonna fucking slam that shit. So that's the only reason I haven't placed any action in this fight. If there's a fucking 1 in front of Max's price, like I have to play it at that point. You know, maybe I won't play it for, you know, infinity amount of units and shit like that, but you know, that's my, like, I also don't want to fake Conor, man. Conor has shown to have that magic, man. Everybody, it's either the Conor fanboys who are delusional, thinking he's gonna win, or it's the people that are just absolutely shitting on him. You know, it's there's no middle, there's no gray area. You know, so everybody's like, oh, Conor's shitty, fuck him, wash, blah blah. There's no way you could know. Nobody knows what he's gonna look like. It's been 5 fucking years. Nobody's gonna. You can go off the last Dustin Poirier fight, where he had a lot of success offensively. He was piecing up Dustin offensively, buzzed Dustin a couple times, but I feel like defensively he looked slow. His footwork didn't look as good. He wasn't getting in and out the pocket as quick. You know what I'm saying? And Dustin was making him pay for that shit. And Dustin, right before his retirement, Dustin was really starting to like slow down physically, athletically wise. You know. So if Dustin's doing that to you, what's a prime Max Holloway gonna do to you? You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the justifications that I was making earlier in the week. Like, Max is not a hard guy to find on the feet. He's very easily hittable. You know, mostly because of his style. It's constantly pushing forward, constantly throwing volume. So that's a big reason why, but you can't be like that versus Conor. Like, Conor has that magic. Conor has that lightning in his hands. You know what I'm saying? So Conor 5 inches of reach, the more natural welterweight, more power in his hands. You know, so I don't want to fade either of these guys, but I also don't want to miss a generational, what could easily look like a generational wealth opportunity on Max Holloway minus 200. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Conor in his prime, we saw some fights where he slowed down the later the fight went. Now you're fighting the cardio fucking king, a guy that's not going to slow down over 5 rounds. Like, I have a hard time believing Conor's not going to at least be slowing down in round 3. At least slowing down. At the very least. But I think there's a decent enough chance that he looks not good. Like, not good in round 3. You know what I'm saying? Not good at all. So that's where I'm at, man. Like I said, I want to give you guys actionable information. I haven't made a bet on this fight yet. I still think more Conor money is going to come in. If that's the case and I get an even better line on Max, then I will play Max. If it gets to minus 1xx, anything minus 1xx, I'm going to play that shit. So that's how you know when it will be official play for me, if that price touches that. But yeah, man, that does it for the card. Amazing card, top to bottom. Amazing main event, man. A Mac is motherfucking back. It's going to be absolute cinema. Like I said many times, a very, very stacked card below what's an amazing main event, man. So that does it. We've been live for probably like an hour and a half. I think that's pretty decent. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found some value in what we did today. And like I said, I'm not gonna promise it because I broke my promise last time, but I'm gonna try my absolute best. I've been extremely busy with business things. I've been extremely busy with my son, but I'm gonna try my hardest. That's the guarantee I will give you guys. I'm gonna try my hardest to at least put one piece of content out on here a week, at least to start. So I look forward to putting out more content for you guys. I hope you guys look forward to more content. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on your way out. I'm putting this out on Friday, so those that missed it live can watch it back in time for the card. If you're watching this back, drop a comment below, man. What are your bets? Straight bets, lotto plays, long shot props. Which fights are you looking forward to the most? Maybe that's not the main event. Everybody is looking forward to the main event, but yeah, comment down below, man. Comment down below. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts as well. So much love for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your Friday. Good luck tomorrow. And I'll see you when I see you, man. Sometime